Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, the house always wins. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing I have always loved about Fallout is the fact of its storytelling. And while you may very well claim that Fallout 4 New Vegas storytelling is not as strong as New Vegas, I will give you some caveats to that. I do play Fallout for not only, of course, the world building, but also for everything else in between. Story is definitely one of those elements I do love. I mean, hell, I like Cyberpunk 2077 because it's honestly enjoyable. I do find it enjoyable, so yeah. But we're not talking about a Cyberpunk story, ladies and gentlemen. No, we are talking about what happens when Courier 6 and Robert House shows up in My Hero Academia.
I have several questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing about Robert House we can definitely agree on is the fact of the man was paranoid. I'm not joking on that. Robert House is a paranoid old bastard and would definitely do this.
With all that money pouring in? Give me 20 years and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation.
Hell, I'm surprised this isn't one of his backup plans and contingency plans that he came up with. And one of the reasons why, ladies and gentlemen, is because, if you haven't figured it out yet, Robert House, being in My Hero Academia, came here via a cloned copy of his brain digitized into Courier 6's Pip-Boy. And let me tell you now, the story itself does in fact revolve around Courier 6 and Robert House, as they present themselves in the world. Not only that, but also we do follow Midoriya as well, and even the other exploits of the My Hero Academia canon. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better, because Robert House does play behind the scenes, being the little puppet master that he is, the bastard that he is, even takes an interest in little Midoriya, but he also takes an interest in Stan, the hero killer, and with Courier 6 playing as the Lanius Legate, creates the Legion.
I don't like where this is going.
In My Hero Academia. Now I'm getting ahead of myself here because there's a lot in this story that is really well done, and I want you guys to check it out. Hell, he even creates a Radio New Vegas and even a Mr. New Vegas in My Hero Academia with the gentleman villain and his sidekick. I'm not joking on this, ladies and gentlemen. There is so much of the story that I absolutely love that I just want to go ahead and gush over it as much as humanly possible. But before we get that, let's go ahead and talk about the rise to power and sort of how Robert House got this power. And I hate to use the storyteller here, but I gotta use it here.
Didn't need to inherit his family's wealth, however, because he inherited something far more precious: his father's business acumen and knack for engineering. It didn't take long for him to amass a fortune of his very own.
Robert House's intellect and business know-how is the reason why he was able to gain power. He introduced the Mr. Handy to the residents of Japan and to the rest of the world. He has military contracts now. He even assassinated the business partner of the business that he was doing that was in fact a Quark support company, but now is the new General Atomics. And again, this is something that's actually kind of cool. And again, as much as people want to not like Mr. House, I love a good villain. And Mr. House is that perfect villain. He's not the manipulative bots of Dumbledore or Palpatine, as much as people want to adore Palpatine. Mr. House has charisma, the business know-how, the intellect, the knowledge. He is basically the Howard Hughes and Mr. Trump and Donald Trump of Fallout combined. While yes, it's a scary combination to think of for the left, for us libertarians and the right, for those of us who enjoy a good down-grounded villain that isn't cartoonishly evil but actually makes sense and is a businessman, this guy's character is something I absolutely enjoy. And again, a good villain is what makes a story really enjoyable. And while he has Courier 6, technically not the quote-unquote hero, is someone who is being used as a sort of pawn. Again, there's a lot into this story that I really want you guys to read. Sad to say, I believe the author is dead. The reason I say this is because the story has not been updated. Now, the author could very well be dead, or the story could very well be abandoned, because this is the only story on the author's list. And with the view count it has, as well as the likes it's getting, this kind of storytelling is one that I could see my friend Crimson Weresloff making. I'm not joking. Crimson Weresloff and even Wombag, both huge Fallout fans, such as myself. If the cup, and of course the soda, wasn't anything to go by. Oh, and of course my coffee cup. And my controllers, obviously. Again, there is so much that this story elements just scream Fallout. Again, I could see Crimson Weresloff or even Wombag making this story. Both of them, huge Fallout fans. I can even see, and I'm not joking on this, I can see my buddy Johnny Boy 11 making this kind of story. Because he has done a Fallout story, and I have reviewed in the past, thank you very much, I hope he does continue it, but either way though, this story itself needs either an adoption, a spin-off, or continuation. This, honest to God, is something that is really good. And I rarely say that about My Hero Academia stories. Well, then again, I haven't really reviewed a lot of My Hero Academia stories, but I rarely ever do review ones like this on Wattpad. And yes, this is a Wattpad story.
Oh, hold on. I dropped my pen.
Please hold your screams of terror and your panicness. This is not a bad story, and this is not needless stupidity, as we see in a lot of other Wattpad stories. Ladies and gentlemen, this story is one that is respecting the Fallout mythos, and one that also respects the My Hero Academia mythos. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you, nay, want you to go check this out yourself, and to my fellow authors who do watch my channel, take a lesson from this and actually try and give it a go yourself. Again, this is a fun story and one that I honestly would love to see continued. But, as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you have a Fallout story, a My Hero Academia story, or even a Fallout My Hero Academia story crossover that you would like me to check out, please contact me via Discord. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help support the channel, we have a PayPal link down below. And if you want to help support me directly and help me acquire lapel mics, studio lighting, and otherwise, consider donating to my Amazon account, for I have one. Again, contact me via Discord to find out how to do that. Links down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and this has been another Media Reviews. Till next time.